Make it louder. Now you have to remember where you're working. I used to be next to a lawyer's office.
Oh, gosh.
He didn't enjoy it so much. But there was a day where he was just as loud as I was. And then I went, now we're even. Because we're in our room yelling, and he's right next door. You can't always do this. You don't always have the room to this. If I could expand on this feeling, if I could make it louder, if it could grow. Now the other one is touch. Okay? Your clients give you visual clues all the time of them sitting on their emotions, and it looks like this. And it always looks like this. Always, always, always looks like this. And then if they get really nervous, it looks like this.
Oh boy.
Gestalt therapy. If your foot could talk, what would it say? And they go, I'm not feeling anything. I go, your foot is. I just pointed out to them. I go, your foot's talking all day long. What does it want to say to me? I don't know what it wants to say. Let me back up. What does it want to say to me? You know, because I'm sitting pretty close to them while their foot's going, okay? They're feeling their emotion through their body and they don't know how to get it out. And I said, well, let your foot do that more. Do it louder. Hit harder. Give it a voice. I hate this. Stop. You're pissing me off. Get out of my business. You know, they don't want you climbing up in their business. You're in their business now. And what I like to say to them is, you are worth me climbing into. You are worth that much. So for every time no one heard you, I hear you now. I hear how angry you are. And it's great. You have that right to be angry, okay? So you expand on it, whatever it is. They can do it with finger paints or Play-Doh or whatever. Now connect the feeling and stick with it. When they feel something, how many of you are guilty of the tossing the Kleenex to the client? Ever done that?
Yeah. Toss it? Yeah.
Yeah. When I was a baby counselor. Oh my God! She's going to ruin her silk shirt right there. I don't want to get that on that pretty blue shirt. We're scared. We just opened a flood and the flood's coming and we want to stop the flood. Okay? People like to slide them across my room. I kick them back. I just go, and we keep talking and they go. And then later I explain. I don't need to shame you for it. I don't need to talk about it. I'll tell you later. Don't stop somebody who's in the middle of their process. Let them cry. I go, look, this works. That's what I do. I tell them, look, who cares? It's a shirt, for God's sake. It took you 20 years to sit there to shed a tear over the fact that you walked away when your friend OD'd right in front of you, and now you're crying. God bless you. Cry. Go for it. There's plenty of Kleenex, and you won't die from your tears. Contrary to popular belief, it will not kill you. Not dealing with it, I beg to differ. It may kill you. Dealing with it, crying is never going to kill you. When they can't get why do I need to cry or grieve or how come, then I tell them, I said, look, somebody wiser, more brilliant and more divine than you or I, be it the universe or God or Buddha or whoever rotates this planet, gave us tears. Why wouldn't they want us to use it? Was it a joke? Was it a defect in the system? They're there to be used, just like every other function in your physical being is there to be used. Use them. There's plenty, and when you run out, you get more.
Yeah.
Use them, Frank. Okay. When you're at this step, the other steps that are more therapeutic, and I'll write them that get more into the healing part, and then I'll let you go or give you questions or whatever. Okay. This is very funny because I did this years ago and I just realized that I called them steps and there's 9 of them. I think I'm short.
I think so.
I got to climb back into the big book and figure out what those last 3 steps are. Which ones am I not looking at? Oh, making direct amends. I'll just skip over that one. Taking a personal inventory. And through prayer and meditation, which is part of that spiritual work also. Having had a spiritual awakening, we tried to carry this message to others. Well, I think I got that one covered right now. I think it's good. but I stopped at 9 step. The 5th step is you connect it and you trace it back. So remember that history I told you? Who, what, where, when, why? Trace it back. Now that they're feeling the emotion, who said, who taught you? Where did you learn that you were not good enough? Do you hear that I'm not good enough over and over again, or is it just me?
No,
It's like that.
definitely.
Endless. With all clients, it eventually always is not being enough. Okay? Trace it back to where its origins are. Okay? When you can do that, you can either accept it or you can release it. You can decide that this is not my truth, this was somebody else's truth. This is what I said earlier. I said this is a bullshit story and you bought into it. It's not your story. You weren't a defective, incapable, undeserving child. You were born perfect in every way. By divine grace, you came onto this earth and you have the right to live, to breathe, to feel joy, to feel compassion, to be loved. You have that right. And that got messed up somewhere along the way. So this story that I'm not good enough, BS, you were good enough from conception. That right came with you. Okay? So on the 6th, what I call the 6th step, you give it back to its originator. Now, this is where therapists get in trouble. Because what happens is, get the client on the phone, pick up the phone, and start yelling at parents. Like my parents in their 70 who don't have a clue what you're talking about and why you're pissed off at them 40-something years later. No. Accept and when to do so.
Would injure yourself or others.
Would injure?
Yourself or others. Yeah.
Would injure yourself or others. No. You don't. You shit on me, I shit on you. When? No. Okay? That's why you're in recovery and you're healing, so that you don't repeat their bad behavior. If it feels appropriate, you can write. And in your writing, write it over and over again, so that you're not sending a letter envelope packed with a bunch of thorns in it. That you're sending an envelope that says, I have forgiven you and I accept where I came from and the lesson that you taught me. And I'm grateful today for the life that I have. And if it were not for you, I wouldn't be walking this planet, so thank you. But you don't need to give back all that venom. Now, you can do that in psychodrama, inner child work, EMDR, EFT. You can beat the crap out of a beanbag all day long, yell and rage at whoever taught you that you weren't good enough, without ever stepping foot out of that office and giving that energy back to anyone. You just need to release it for you. It's not for them, it's for you, and you got to get real clear about what giving it back means. Sometimes giving it back is wow. I think I have one of those wow moments. Sitting at Thanksgiving in the middle of my work 15, 16 years ago, having a dialogue with my timing's impeccable. Thanksgiving dinner, really, Gina? This is the time you're going to confront your mom? Great. And something came up around the same issue with my mother and I start going at her. Totally inappropriate.